Hello there, fourth graders. Do you like running? I could run. I don't run too much. But our math message today, this is lesson 7.4. We're continuing to work with our idea about how we multiply fractions times a whole number. So take a look at this and let me give you a chance to answer it on your own first. All right, and I'd also like you to tell me how you got your answer. Okay, so we've got our math equation here already put out here, so that's nice, right? He goes around the track 3 times, and each time is 1/8, and so we should have said 3/8. Right? Because we're multiplying the whole number times the numerator. Now, between what two whole numbers does this answer lie? Right? Well, you have to think, like, is this number here, is this between 2 and 4? Or 2 and 3? Is it between 6 and 7? This is more than 0, but less than 1. Right? More than 0, but less than 1. If it was more than 1, it would be 8/8 or higher than 8/8. Okay, so that's kind of what we're working on today. All right, now it says to write a multiplication equation to represent the following fractions as multiples of unit fractions. So if we had 3/10, we could write that as 3 times 1/10. If we had 5/12, we could write that as 5 times 1/12. Just like that, right? What would we write for 11/6? We would write 11 times 1/6, right? And a lot of this is practice of what we were doing last time. Here we have 1 and 4/5. I think that's what this is supposed to be, 1 and 4/5. So what I would do is I would think, okay, well, 1 equals 5/5. So 5/5 plus 4/5 equals 9/5. And then if I wanted to write that as an equation that shows this as a multiple of a unit fraction, I would put 9 times 1/5. So a little weird like that, right? When you see that mixed number there, you're going to have to deal with that mixed number. A little bit more practice here after we talk about our objective. Our objective is to be able to multiply fractions by whole numbers. All right, so now you can see where we're going a little bit differently. Okay, we're not going to always have unit fractions that we're going to do. One lap around this outdoor track at Samantha's school is 5/8 of a mile. So this is a bigger track. How far would Samantha walk if she did 3 laps around the track? Well, we have different ways that we can show that. And that's what I want to show you here today, right? One way to represent that, right? Having this visual representation is very important, is by drawing a picture. Okay, we could draw 5/8 and then another 5/8 and then another 5/8 and another 5/8. So this is one visual representation of this problem. Remember, whenever you're multiplying, that's like groups of, just real basically, right? 3 times 4 means 3 groups of 4, both of which are 12. If you have 3 times 5/8, you have 3 groups of 5/8, right? So 3 groups there for us. Now, I could also represent it in a number line. Now, you can see these jumps look different, right? A lot of times we're just jumping from one to the next, but we're doing 3 jumps here because each time she goes around the track, she goes 5/8. So here's 5/8, and then here's the next 5/8, and then here's the next 5/8. And we land on our answer, okay, which is pretty nice. So we would say that 3 times 5/8 equals, right, 15/8, right? Here's 5, 10, 15, 15/8, or 1 7/8, which is how I'm going to write it. 1 and 7/8. Between what two numbers does this answer lie? All right. Is this between 0 and 1? No. Is this between 6 and 7? No. Is this between 1 and 2? It is, right? It's more than 1, but less than 2. So it's in between those two numbers. All right. Here's one for you to practice with me. To practice here with me. So if we had 3 times 4/5. Now I want to show you, because when you get to your math journal page, we are going to be drawing some pictures that go with that. So if we were to practice, wrong screen. This, right? We would want to represent it. So we'd have 3 times 4/5. Now, one way we could do that would be to create some 4/5 circles. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, that doesn't look very good. So 1, 2, 3, right? And I'm going to have 4/5 on each one. So let's shade in 4 of these parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one's 4/5. This one's 4/5. And this one's 4/5. So I have 3 groups of 4/5. How many fifths do I have now? I have 12 fifths. Right? This one is 4/5 plus 4/5 plus 4/5. And my shading isn't super pretty, right? But you can see that, right? 4/5, 4/5, 4/5 equals 12 fifths. If I want to put that as a mixed number, right? So how many? This is really just like dividing, right? How many 5s are in 12? 2. And then there'd be 2/5 left over. 2 and 2/5. Okay. All right. Let's do another one. Let's do this one with just the multiplying. So if I'm going to multiply 5 times 7/12, I want you to multiply the numerator, the 7 times 5, and then put it over 12. How much would that be? It would be 35/12. Okay, let's change it. How many 12s are in 35? Well, 12, then 24, then 36 would be too much. So 2, and that would be 24/12, and there'd be 11 as a remainder. 11 left over. 2 and 11/10. Okay, one more. Let's do a number line down here. We have 4 times 2/3. So we're going to create a number line here. Let's see if I did it long enough. Here's 0, here's 1, here's 2, here's 3. We need to break these into thirds. And now we're going to make 4 jumps. And each jump, we're going to go 2/3. So let's change this in color and go. See, there's one group. See, I got to do 4 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's my answer? My answer is 2 and 2/3. Okay, 2 and 2/3, which I would write like this. A little more practice, but this time with a problem like this. Mrs. McDonald walks her dog 5/6 of a mile every day. How far will she walk after 4 days? You see the picture there. You can use that to help you. First, tell me the answer. What is 4 times 5/6? Okay, you could have said 26. Yep. But if you do that, in order to answer this question, between what two whole numbers it lies, you're going to have to put that into a mixed number. Now, I told you, treat it like division. So 26, imagine it's just 26 like that. 26, that just means take 20 divided by 6. How many 6s go in 20? 3. And subtract and there's 2 as the remainder. So 2/6. Okay, maybe we'll work on that some more. But, just look at this, right? How many 6s go in 20, right? 6/6 plus 6/6 plus 6/6 is 18, and 2 more would be 20. So this would be 3 and 2/6. All right, between what 2 whole numbers? This is our answer. Between what 2 whole numbers is this? It's between 3 and 4, right? Always pick this first number, 3 and 4. It's right in the middle of those. All right, I believe we have one last practice problem left, if I remember. We do. Here it is. Let me give you a chance here to read this and solve, and then we'll check. All right, you should have ended up with 30/10, which equals 3, right? This is 30/10, which equals 3. And kind of hard to describe this here between what 2 whole numbers. It doesn't really end up between 2 whole numbers because it ends up as exactly a whole number. Okay, our objective is to multiply fractions by whole numbers. Let's look at your math journal page. It's math journal page 238. And you can see that you have some problem. You're going to want to read this. You're going to want to look at this data and think about what it means. You have some spaces to draw a picture. When you have draw a picture, you could draw like, pizzas. These kids are like running, kids that are at a walking club. I wouldn't draw a bunch of kids walking here. I would draw something to help you to solve this, like a number line or the little pizzas that we were doing. Right? Something that will help you to do that. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 7 problems, and then the try this. Yes, you do need to do the try this. All right. 4th graders, that is all for today. Our objective, being able to multiply fractions by whole numbers. If you need any help with those things, please reach out. Let me know, and good luck.